Do you feel that jazz, which some people also find difficult because it is there's not a single point of focus sometimes, it's improvised, it's going all over the place?
That I appreciate. The music is always also a conversation, you know.
Yes.
The classic and but
all the different other stages.
But one I like in the jazz was the primal the primal expression, you know. And when you listen to jazz, you understand the voice. You have something as a you understand
the language,
the speech.
Language,
you know, the speech of the musician is different. I like very much Gainsbourg because he was a real poet.
That's right.
A real poet.
Yeah.
And also, and he was a real musician. So he's
I think
he's a troubadour. He's a troubadour as a.
Yes, I was just thinking that we were talking about that the other day. The troubadours, it hasn't really changed that much because the troubadours were actually using their poetry with their music. So there is a kind of almost a going back somewhere with the poets today. You have Louis Ferrer, well in France you've got a lot, all over the world, but the ones we know here, it's Brassens, it's Léo Ferrer, it's Gainsbourg, or what are the others? Jacques Brel.
Yeah.
You know, all these are poets. And it's interesting. So I think it's what's interesting what Philippe says is that the jazz had its own voice. There wasn't really the words were not there. The words were in the actual soul of the music. That's superb.
Well, I think
But he loves music and the films.
Yes, I'd like to speak on that too. But I think with Gainsbourg and Brel, their phrasing was also very unique.
Yeah, sure.
So and to me that
architecture.
That lyrical phrasing was born from an appreciation of jazz and silence and space and getting outside of a conventional form. And lyrically, their stuff could be on one level very sort of light, on the other level very deep, which I think is a really unique quality too. But yes, let's talk about film. I mean, I'll just go from a position of something that Australia and the world saw from France in the 50s, which was the Nouvelle Vague. I wonder how that impacted on you. Was that something that you appreciated or despised?
Oh, yes, I was born with the Nouvelle Vague.
Yes.
No, it's right. Yes. Yes. The characteristic of the Nouvelle Vague is to give for the first time the power at the author of the movies, you know. Truffaut, Chabrol, a little less Chabrol, but Truffaut, Godard, René gives the text the power of the writing, the power of the movies, and they install a certain manner to they have no money, so they are now inside the studio, they are outside in the street, and
like Jean Vigo in the school, I think he was one of the pioneers.
So, and the Nouvelle Vague was a certain manner to be non-conventional. After, when they are all Louis Malle, because Louis Malle, for example, gives the opportunity to see in the movie some theme non-conventional.
Do you think there's more abstract in the Nouvelle Vague? Was there more abstract? Is it similar to painting?
Some.
Yeah.
That depends when René gives Hiroshima Mon Amour. It was wonderful, but the picture was.
The scenario,
The picture was abstract, you know.
That's why.
Abstract. That depends. That depends.
Depends on, it's a good example.
Yeah.
What I liked about it when I discovered it was the sense that there didn't have to be a contrived plot. You know, there could be conversation that took the part of plot. So you'd have characters that were talking and were talking. The dialogue was quite unique against conventional cinema. It played against the normal scripting form where there had to be a direction to everything. There had to be a point or a focus.
Which was more figurative. So I often, I don't know, I might be wrong because I'm not Philippe is really expert. When he tells you to go and see a film, you just go. You just go and see that film. I mean, he sent me to see that film, that was in 2 parts. I haven't seen a good film since. I mean, some of the really good films destroy you to see all the rest, because then you can see the rubbish sometimes. Huh?
In France, you have a lot of production because the movies are helped by the system, etc. And we produced 300 movies by year, maybe more. And a lot are very bad.
Yes.
Well, I think the big difference is the formula to the movie, where once you become aware of that, and as you get older, you've seen so many of the same sorts of formulas that it becomes less engaging, less challenging. And I think that's where experimental cinema, or cinema that pushes the boundaries, like abstract art, it's the same thing.
But like you're trying to create, I mean, this filming it's called the poetry of illusion. The poetry of illusion. And it's got some very, very lovely shots and very, very lovely. But he's moving more into the opaque. He's moving more and more into abstract, actually. You're becoming more and more abstract art.
Well, I think the purpose of this film that we're doing is to try and allow people to get out of that narrow commercial band and feel that they can do that. A lot of them think it's elite and I've no education and how could I appreciate that? But to me, it's a question, just as you said with abstract art, of opening to emotion instead of trying to find. It looks like a tree. Yes, a form, exactly. And I think creativity, and I actually think conversation is the same thing. When we say our words, we don't know where they come from. We hear them at the same time as we say them. And I think that's a little way in for people to see that they're already in this open space. It's a much richer experience, because when we're force-fed the movies and the art and the music that is all designed to make us buy things, and it's very superficial. It holds our attention for 5 seconds, and
that's another thing, is to hold the attention. It's diminishing. I can even see it. Nobody wants an epic poem anymore. You really have to really do something almost like an acrobat to hold their attention long enough. That's why I think poetry is returning to the real thing of poetry is the body, the dance, and the music. It's not in a book, lineal. It's not lineal. Poetry now is going, like the pyramids. That's my feeling. I don't say I'm right, but when I want to catch the attention with an epic, as he knows, I'm doing. It's like a great, the saltimbanques, traveling around the villages and trying to get in not to shock, but it's to stir. That's the thing, is to stir the emotion. You're perfectly right.
And when you see, we have a great poet and also a great orator of her own work, because what you do is you actually perform it in a way that engages. And you're quite right. I'm a musician all my life, and growing up through the era of digital and iPods and MP3s, what happened, I think, is probably the most extreme example of what we're talking about, because before, when we had a piece of vinyl, we had to put it on a record player, put the needle on it, go back to our couch and listen to the whole thing, or get up and turn it off.
Yeah.
Now, with our iPods and mobile phones, we can say, I want to listen to that song. We turn it on, 5 seconds in we go, oh no, I'd like to listen to this song. We change it. We're continually incapable of holding attention on something for very long.
It's true.
I think the death of attention is a real tragedy.
Yeah.
Well, let's say that I'm not negative about really, as you know, I must have been born positive. You're born as you are, actually. But I'm not. I think that we're in a stage of adaptation, and this adaptation is very hard for people who appreciate something that is really beautiful. It's the appreciation. We don't really like to see things that seem to be disintegrating, seem to be taking away from us what we love, what we've enjoyed all our life. Suddenly you see everybody's talking. But on the other hand, the internet and all these new things are just a formation. It's like the printing press coming in. You know, people they're a little afraid, they're a little destabilized. And it's this that it gives them a fear. What are we going to do? What is it going to be like? It's going to be wonderful, because the internet, these things, we've never before had a library at our disposal.